Hi everyone. Happy Friday. Let's see. Make sure everything's going. Everything looks good. All right, are you ready to do some crafting? So we've got some tons of things that I need to work on actually. A whole bunch. So I actually need to take this off for a second and get them. Okay. I'm back. So we've got lots of things that I could work on. Got this guy that needs his legs finished. We've got a giraffe that needs spots. We've got, what else? A Chihuahua that needs put together. So, and a sea turtle that needs work as well. Since no one's in the chat, I'm gonna pick some things. And maybe we'll work on the little Chihuahua. Because it's been a bit. So right now I have a few different ones. I'll move these off to the side. You can see Mr. Sea Turtle. Bye. So we've got this little Chihuahua here. He's really tiny. He's got little hands. Little cute turkey legs. So I just need to work on refining like some of these details. Making sure his legs like fit into his butt and it's not like easy to just like rip off. If a toddler can kill it, then it's kind of my test. So you can hand it to a child and see what they do with it, I guess, if you if you want to get kind of crazy. So we're just gonna work on stabbing his legs in and make sure they're attached. It's gonna be really cute. We need to make some ears for him. We also need a tail. I was thinking about giving this guy a crown, but we will see. Roll up my sleeves. Getting serious. And I think, I don't know if I have his body even as tough and secure as I want it to be. So there's some black thread in there. I can see the wool. I'm just gonna pull it out with my needle, pull it out with my nails. I'm gonna press it down in. Work on this leg. Ooh, I think I went all the way through him. So this guy, he's laying down. He's tired. I don't know if I'll make him short hair or long hair yet. I haven't really decided. Maybe short hair, just so I can have him as like the model for how I make all the rest of them. I can make another long haired. I have another Chihuahua that I was working on too, but he can wait. He's got a little bit more complexity in his coat. You can see, I don't know if you can see that little detail of some orangey, creamy blend. Oh, and there we go. What just happened? Oh, my needle just went up in this thing. This was, I guess, not tight enough. Pushing. Okay. I thought I broke a needle for a second, but that's actually not what happened. So you really need to drive the needle in to get it to connect to the body. That's super important. I've been painting a lot lately, so I feel a little rusty. This isn't like my usual. Wow, I think I put his leg on like real weird. It's definitely like not even. If that's the case, I can literally just rip off this leg and try again. So, it's, I don't know, a doggy leg, but I can just move it back a smidge. And I think from the top, that seems to be way more consistent and symmetrical with his other side. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Kind of need to make his haunches like part of his rear end. I think next time I would just make him a little wider at the hips and then just tack on some legs there, maybe. A little motivation for the week, for the day, just to get it through it all. Super important. It's always good to have like a mantra or something that you can look at. Just be like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, I don't know. For me, it's not going to be any sort of like peaceful saying. It's going to be probably more fighty, aggressive wording that's really going to make me keep going. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely tend to be motivated somewhat by spite and just, I'll prove you wrong, or I'll show you, or you might have been right this time, but next time I'll be right too. And maybe I was wrong, and maybe I'll be wrong again. It just keeps me motivated for some weird reason. I don't know if that's healthy or not, but definitely keeps me going. Helps me show up. I guess as long as I show up, that's the good part, right? If you're a needle felter like me, you're gonna maybe slouching, having your shoulders up too high, try to put them back. Breathe in a little bit every time you stab. Not every stab, but that would be crazy. But just make sure you're breathing. That's always important. Let's see. So his little rear end is getting something new attached to it, and I can feel it sticking. The fibers are intertwining with the little notches of the needle, and they're getting in. And I think that's part of it. These stabs need to be forceful. You can stab not perpendicular. Well, yeah, you can stab at an angle like this. But you have to make sure that you're not changing the angle on when you go in and out, just because you don't want to break your needle and get it stuck in there. Because gifting someone or giving one of your clients something with a needle in it, it's kind of a risky move. I don't even know what I would do. I guess I would have to cut it open or something, or try to get it out. Like, that would be not so fun. Go needle felting dog. It looks like a turkey on this side to me, or like a little chicken or something funny. Bok bok. I like making chickens too, because they're super cute. Let's see. We'll deal with the wispies later. It's just about getting this like really attached well to the body. So no matter what it goes through, it'll retain its shape and limbs. It'll hold that dog. It'll be a dog forever. Okay, so this guy might sleep. I mean, he might be sleeping. I might put his little cute hands and overlap that maybe or something. I don't know. It's just like really a cute little face and a cute little nose. We're gonna have to give him some ears. So he's got his arm. We need his tail. I've got some of this I can add too. Let's see. Do we want to do the ears? Okay. So for ears, what size do we want them? This guy is like a micro dog. So, goodness gracious. What did I do to myself? I'm going to have to make the smallest ears ever. Good times. It's fine. I think that's sometimes the hard part and the fun part about this, especially if you like don't sketch out your shapes before. Like, for example, I sketched out this shape just as an example, but I didn't, I even made that too small. That's so tiny. The ears are so small. It's good to be thinking in the beginning about how big or how small your piece is going to be. Because if you obviously don't follow that, then you're just asking to either create something so little and just like kind of absurd, or ginormous, and you're going to use all your wool. So crap and a half, guys. Let's see. I'm making the smallest ears in the world. No, probably not. Chihuahuas have large ears for their, well, some of them have large ears for their head, so it won't be like the worst thing if they're like really batty, because there's definitely some cheese out there that have batty ears, and it makes them so, they're just so freaking cute. Okay, so I need to flip it a lot because I don't want this thin little layer of wool to get stuck onto my pad, because that would be bad, because then I would rip it off and it would come apart maybe. And I just need to keep flipping it and flipping it. This is lazy me too. I should have made the same size little wool pole, but I didn't. See, now it's already becoming like a little ear. And you can do a different color in the inside if you want, like a darker color. That might be adorable. You'd use maybe a finer needle for that than even this one. Just gets away all the wispies. Drag the wispies if you needed. Oh, there's some red on my pad and it's getting into my ear. I definitely don't want red in my cheese ear. Okay, flip it again. Yeah, this is it. I mean, like, I need to get my mat out. Maybe remove this mat, because it's just like so hard to see the contrast. I'm sorry, y'all. Here we go. Ta-da! Hopefully you can see that a little bit better, maybe. How about that? Let's get that in there. Okay, good. Can even start kind of shaping the bottom and pulling it in a little bit to give it that flared ear type feel shape. This is a very thin Chihuahua ear. That's gonna be so cute. Maybe they'll be floppy. I'm not really sure. What color should I make the inside of the ear? Let's see what we got. There's some brown somewhere, I think. Let's me look in my collection. Yeah. Opening a plastic bag with these nails is always fun. Let's see if I can do it. It's like one good thing about these nails is that I don't bite my fingers with them, because I can't get to my nail. But other parts about like opening things, terrible. Or what else is bad? If I accidentally scratch myself, like that's no fun. What else do I do with these things? I'm sure if I could think of some other reasons as I continue to stab. Okay, so here, just gonna like fold this up a little bit. Put it in the middle. This will give some weight to the ear too, just to get a little sturdier, so it's not as flimsy as just the beige ear. Some nice contrast for the Chihuahua. Maybe I'll give him little paw spots or something too, pads. Okay. Just want to make sure it's not like going through. So that brown doesn't show up on the other side. But I like these nails because they do protect my fingers from getting stabbed by this little needle. So I have to say that that has been a bonus. They look cute. I like the blue. I like the flowers. Yeah, let's see. There's some brown getting on this side. So we'll have to pat it a little bit. Twirl it around. Get it on there. Is that gonna work? No. Just put some cover up with the wool. That's what's awesome about needle felting. It's kind of like sculpting. If you need to start over, you pull that leg off like I did a few minutes ago, or you need to cover up some brown that's peeked through a lighter color, then you just cover it up. And there you go. You don't have any more brown peeking through. Do the edges a little bit more. I used to have a lot of coworkers when I worked in marketing, and they would have these amazingly beautiful nails, but like so long. I could never imagine what it was like to be typing all day like them. But I think they don't type with their nails. They don't let the nails like hit. It's more like the finger pads. You kind of like hold the keyboard, or you type interesting, and you can just hear this like clacking too, because the nails like hit the keyboard in different spots, like in the key above it. So you just hear clacking nails. Okay. That's looking like a really nice ear. That's going to be way too big for this little puppy. Let's see. Let's just make sure the brown doesn't get too bold on the back. If I put long hair on this ear, though, it won't really matter as much. Now we're going to want to put it on him. Oh my gosh, it's like the biggest ear ever. It's so funny. I can make it smaller though. Like I will make it so much smaller. This is so funny. Of course. And that's fine. This happens to me constantly. It's just, I'm like, come on, just measure out more of your wool, or think about your game plan before you just start going. But I think my personality type is just jump in, see what happens, make it work. And then, every time you do it next, like you just get a better feel for it, a better sense. And you remember all the things you did wrong. Not wrong, but you just didn't take the time to plan it. Luckily I'm just making a little Chihuahua. It's not like I'm doing something, in a really serious situation. So that's good. There are some things that I plan out. It's just, this isn't necessarily one of them. Okay, so let's see now. We're gonna put this little ear on this guy. Or maybe I should make the other one while we're here. While we're here and the ear is off and I can compare the size and I can just be like, okay, this is what I want. Yeah, let's do that. See, I already learned my lesson. I'll make a triangle shape to get the ear going. My little Chihuahua snores next to me. You probably can't hear it, but I can. It's just funny. It's like making a sleepy chi while the sleepy chi is next to me. So we want to get a point up at the top. Let's do that. Let's make this ear shaped. Do some pokes. Let's get the other needle going. It's a smaller, it's a lower number gauge, which means it works better on coarser wool or like molding bigger shapes, or just starts any piece off a little easier for me rather than the finer details with a higher gauge needle. And I think that just has to do with like the thickness of the tip and then also the little notches that each needle has. So as my guy friends would probably say, that's what she said. We're not in a work environment, so it's okay. But also, like, I don't really think anyone talks like that. You wouldn't really want notches in one, so that would be weird. Definitely would be a topic of conversation, I guess, if that were the case. Okay. I'm like, did my needle break? Sometimes I can't tell. This one's still felting. No, I think it's fine. It's just a difference between the gauge sizes. It's like using my one finger that the nail fell off. I just didn't do that one well. I think I ran out of the size I needed to. Okay, getting that ear shape a little bit. I think if it didn't fall off, I wouldn't have been able to open that little bag full of the brown wool, so I guess it's good. I get some water. Okay. Maybe some people will pop in tonight. Like, you never know. I just want to make sure that I'm kind of talking through my process. I really did this just to be like more accountable to my crafting schedule, especially if I start getting more commissions on that, and painting too. So like my painting commissions, and then with my sales of some of my felts, I think it was just like seemed like time that I wasn't necessarily being really good about like blocking off for me. So I felt like maybe this would help me just be a little bit more dedicated to my craft, help me kind of think out loud instead of just all in my head, give me a project to figure out something new. So like, I didn't know anything about Twitch before I started this. It's definitely been quite an education. It's really cool, the things that I've learned so far. I don't really have a background in audio. or necessarily like videography. That's not something as I'm as keyed in on as I am in some other creative fields. So it was definitely, there was a steep learning curve, but I feel like it's been really satisfying to like, I hooked this up, like I used this plug and did that with this wire. And maybe that seems like small potatoes for some people that are more hardware inclined. But I wouldn't say it's like the most intuitive thing because, you know, wires are so different and just technology in general. It doesn't really, I don't know. It all looks the same and it seems like a lot sometimes. So these ears don't look the same, guys. So I'm going to have to work on that. And this is what I get. This one is a lot pointier. The brown needs to be higher and a little bit less pointy and more rounded. So I guess it's good to have both ears down. Like they don't need to be exactly the same because, you know, I'm making a Chihuahua and again, like I'm definitely a perfectionist, but it's like getting it done is better than getting it perfect. But it is good to like obviously have them be like pretty similar looking. If anyone was going to critique my felt work, you know, maybe they would comment on the ears. But to each their own. And dogs, I mean, just like people, they're not symmetrical in real life. We're all a little different from our left to our right sides. I think that's what's cool about us. Even our left side of our brain versus our right side of the brain. Very different functionalities, capabilities. So, and I can just drag the felt up. I gotta check the back side. Yeah, look at all that brown. Let's pull more wool. Cover it up a bit. Now I'm starting to mix some of my other Chihuahuas wool into here, so things are going to get different on the color. But I think that's good, and I think that all dogs are just different looking from one side to the other, from one dog to another as well. That's what's so cool about Chihuahuas too. Okay, this one's definitely smaller. This one's wider, but maybe I can, again, like I did for the last one, like cinch in a little bit. Cinch these effing ears and even more. I was thinking about what I would work on next. Well, I mean, I have a million little projects that I'm working on, so I guess I gotta do those too. But I think I wanted to make little Gandalfs, I think. I just want one anyways, but like kind of like how I've made this handmade, just to have her as like a little lady just sitting there reminding me that I can fight back and don't have to take things lying down in this crazy time that we live in. But you know, Gandalf gives me a lot of hope, and I think Gandalf the Grey. I don't want anyone to confuse him with Saruman, so I think that would be good. And I like his gray hat. Makes me happy. And his staff. It's really fucking powerful, so okay, that's getting a little bit better. I can put these bad boys on it and see what they look like. So we got our little dog. We have our little Chihuahua with ginormous ears. Oh my god, so funny. Just like what? It's gonna look more like a fox because it's so large. Oh my goodness. I'm even thinking, I'm like, how do I make these as small as I can? But I mean, one thing you can do too is you can like pin on. Let's see if I have any pins. In my table of stuff. Do I have pins in here? Yeah. get like a little pin cushion. Well, I guess I can use one of my little animals as a pin cushion. Let's get my sewing kit. Oh. And I'm going to pin on his ears. They're so large though. I'm like, I don't even know if I should like clip them first and then put them on. But then I think it's okay like this. You can pin on those ears. At least they stick and you don't have to just like have your fingers in here and you're getting stabbed all the time. Like that's just no fun. It makes these tiny details like even more annoying. Get my desk drawer closed. Whoa, shit. Okay. My desk drawer kind of came out. So, all right. So we're gonna just start felting these ears in. Let me use the thicker one. Oh my gosh. I gave you the biggest ears ever, little man. I hope you're okay with it. You're gonna hear every bump in the night. Gonna hear from miles away. Literally like a bat. Maybe will they have sonar? I don't think you as a puppy will have the sonar that you might want if you were a bat. Sorry. Okay, so he's got some brown in him, and I'm like, oh, well, none of the rest of him is brown. Maybe his eyes and nose will be brown, and it'll just all go together. Yeah, maybe. Can put some eyes on today, too, and see how that goes. Okay, I don't hate this look, little guy. You just need to make it work. What's great about this is that the rest of him is all wool too, so you can just kind of, you can either clip this off or you can use it to, you know, on his back. Okay, so let's get the finer nail on this. This is, I think, a 41 gauge, I think. Okay, and he'll have some brown in the mix of his fur too, which is totally fine. Or I'll get my clips. Again, I don't know where any of my tools are. Oh yeah, I found it. It's a little pop-up in front of my face. Okay, so I'm gonna open this, take out my little clippers. I'm gonna clip some of this off. Just a little fuzz if I need it for later. I don't know about any of you guys that also needle felts. If you have a little stash of just little hairs, little wisps, I guess I would call them. It's like I can always add it to another project. Possibly some hoarder tendencies there. I don't know. But back to it. So I clipped off some. The light is giving me a hard time. Okay. So he's got his little ear on. I think I like the placement of this ear. It's looking good to me. It's like his little face. His eyes would be here. His ears would be up there. I don't think I gave him a big enough forehead. I mean, I guess he's just all ears. He's just one of those cheese. And then his other ear, let's see. Might as well have been like a Pokemon or something. It's like crazy large ears. I don't want that to be over so much. This is where like attention to detail and any sort of like perfectionism just like kind of derails me of like moving faster, I guess, through a project. But in the end, I'm fine with it. I mean, this is all for like just peace of mind, and you have to be proud of the thing that you made. It's okay to just like let those perfectionist tendencies just like out occasionally, or they'll rear their ugly heads later, maybe. It's like it's okay for a Chihuahua. I don't know if my Chihuahua would really care. I don't think he's a perfectionist. I think he's really particular. I think that he hates the grass and he hates things that are wet. So he can show his neurotic tendencies other ways than, say, with a perfectionist kick. Then I need to cover up the brown in the back that I've poked through. Let me see. Can I take some of the wisp that I just cut off, or is it too blended with I'll just do some pure pale. Some cream here. So if you don't like attention to detail, or you don't like small little things, I highly recommend making bigger projects so your pieces are larger, easier to handle. You'll use a lot more wool. You'll spend a lot of time felting. Oh, excuse me. I'm so tired. I'm old. This week wore me out. Actually, I had 2 interviews this week, so that was somewhat exhilarating / nerve-wracking. Not gonna lie, like, I don't think the first one went the way I wanted it to, but also, like, I don't think that company was, like, the right fit for me, so, nor was the person I was talking to. So I think that it was just better to, it was good. It was good to see, you know, was this a good fit? And in the end, for me, no. He made it pretty clear that it was also maybe not the best fit. He said he would take forever, so that didn't make me very hopeful that like, oh yeah, like cool, we'll move on to the, you know, the next round like pretty quickly. Like that was just, I didn't get that sense that that's what he wanted, which is fine because I don't think I would have wanted that either. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. And it sucks because, I mean, this job market is crazy. And, like, you know, you'll see, like, on LinkedIn, if you have the free premium trial, like, it'll tell you how many people have applied to a job. And it's like, oh, 1,000 people have clicked apply. It doesn't mean that they all have, but, like, you know, I don't know what the percentages of people who convert after clicking. But if it's a workday application, then it's probably like 2%. But because that's just the worst company ever for people applying to jobs. It's probably not so great for the people looking through their resumes either, but it's intimidating to see that many people just like apply to one job. So to get, you know, finally like an in-person experience with the actual human and an interview with them, like you just get your hopes up, I guess. And then when you don't have a lot of those happening, you know, it just doesn't feel great. Still better than the AI dog that responded to me, so you don't need to chat with a dog about how you don't want me to work here. Okay, these ears look so different. Just gonna have to work through it. It's a good challenge to have. Like, At least the ears look somewhat similar. They're sort of similar in size. They're sort of like, it's okay that they're on the same dog, I think. To really think about the ear situation, or maybe just make bigger dogs. It's just such a tiny little pup. So this is, it's hard to handle. Consistency. I mean, when you hand make stuff, like every handmade one is not going to be the same. So you definitely have to tell your people that. You have to tell your clients, like, it's not going to look exactly like that picture, but you have to do your freaking best to make it look at least somewhat like the product you're selling. And then if it's supposed to be like photorealistic off of an actual real life dog, like, then, you know, you gotta deliver. And I think that's a huge undertaking. I kind of like to stay away from I do realistic paintings, but realistic wool felt, I don't know if I'm into that. A lot of people do it, and a lot of people are really amazing at it, and I'm just like in awe of them and how just real their dogs and cats look and animals. But I don't think I'm going for that. I think I'm going for like spirit. And obviously they capture the spirit because it is like a look-alike. It is so insane. But just for me, making something inspired by a pet is great. But not committing to like, it's going to look exactly like your actual dog. But in miniature, goodness, it's going to take me a while, I think, to get to that place, even just technically. So I got this little turtle guy who can be my pin cushion for right now. Okay, if I can get the needle out. Good thing I have one last nail over here. Okay. Okay, he's needled up. And now I can probably trim off this stuff. Give him a haircut. There we go. He's very party in the back right now. Okay, we'll take him off. He doesn't look too outrageous. I still think I need to work on like just, this one is pointier, this one is curvier. I think I could deal with that. I think if I could if I flip them down or like curl them a little bit, like it's less noticeable. There's like a lot of different ways we could remedy this to make me feel okay. But for right now, let's just make sure the ears are attached. Because getting them back on, I don't think would be very fun. Getting them on in the first place wasn't the most enjoyable, but it was a really good challenge to have. This is the time where usually my husband joins and says hello, but we'll see. We'll see if that happens. Right now I'm just working on covering up his little mullet from the brown. I really could have clipped off a lot more, but I did not. I wonder if anyone else is excited to watch RuPaul's Drag Race tonight, because I am. Much needed. So funny, so clever, so creative, just what they are able to do. I think it's a ball tonight, so it's fashion. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just kind of poking them in, and there's big holes because this is really fine wool. Honestly, I got it off Amazon. I don't even know if it's like actual wool or like synthetic wool. I don't really know. But it's quite, I'm going to have to put some more wool over it to just like refine the shape a little bit more. And just cover up all the holes. I guess I could push them really deep in. I could just bring all these loose ends. Maybe I should cut more of it off. Because that brown is really like standing out. I don't think I want it to. Be careful that I don't clip off one of his little ears in the process. Because these are pretty sharp and wool is pretty thin in this way. And then I can always cover it up here if I put more wool on. Oh, we have a follower. Is that my husband? Let's see. And if it's not, I'm really sorry if I'm putting you on the spot. Yes, it is him. Hi. I made these ears. He looks a lot like a Pokemon because they're huge. Thank you. He's very supportive, clearly. So I almost got all the nails on except for one. I don't have the right size. But it's good. It's fine because I could open a plastic bag, which I don't know if I could have done before. So basically now we're just going to hide, after we get this all in, so we're going to just drag as much in. So you drag the needle, if you can see, to get the wispies down, push the brown towards the tan. I'm going to make a lot more work on this, but as you can see, I'm dragging the tan over the brown. Smooth this out. You can pull some wispies in, and it'll cover all of that and make it more even. And you just really push it down forcefully. And just follow kind of the feel of like how the body is shaped, and then also like where you want things to stand out a little bit more, like where his shoulder is right here. So just travel that line so the shoulder can still stand out, and I'm not making it like smoother. I can pull some wool this way still if I'm not cool with, still I didn't cover all the brown. I just stab it into this cute little neck. I think I made something shake based off my stabbing. Ooh. That went all the way through. I could feel it. So in the process of covering up the brown, evening that out, he's a little bit better. His ears kind of flopped forward or backwards instead of forward like I wanted them to, but that's fine. He's looking like a little bat fox, but we'll keep working on him. And I think we'll get him to a place that we're happy with. And obviously now on this side, it looks like he's got a weird little tumor, but I can flatten this out for sure with some more work. So that's how you make some ears and put them on a Chihuahua. I hope you learned something and that you liked it. And it's not driving you crazy that the ears are a little different in size. We'll get the strayaways kind of dealt with later too, but this is just a good start. Again, like I'm just going to keep covering up some of the brown spots from the hair with more wool, even out the rest of his body, really accentuate like his shoulders and his hips, and then give him a tail, give him a face with some eyeballs. Hopefully he turns out to be something really cute. So thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.